be going down in like
Goat
S
shows.
tier goat shows.
Yeah. Is it dubbed yet, or is it just subbed?
It might just be subbed. I mean, the entire series by now
Is out
is
and
out
subbed.
in dubbed.
Oh, and dubbed.
Yeah, I think the only one that's not out is the final episode.
Okay,
So if you want to get started on that,
that can be done.
it can be done. Anyway, welcome everybody.
And fuck it, we're doing it live.
Fuck it, we are doing it live.
This is
We
2 fewer fucks than there were in the entire Taylor Swift movie
do
that we sat through.
that we so let's get that out of the way. We are talking about Taylor Swift's The Eras Tour.
Yeah.
A little ditty that I never thought I would actually sit down and watch.
Yes, it was. I didn't either. But then there were just so many people seeing it that I was like, all right, I'm ready for some spectacle.
And all right, so like I remember hearing, we have a couple friends who saw the Taylor Swift spectacle live,
Live and in person.
right?
Yeah.
And from what I saw, it is really like it is pure spectacle, and like the sheer scope of the event is really fascinating.
Yep.
But this does not need to be 2 hours and 49 minutes.
Yeah, no, let's do that out of the way.
Let's get that out of the way.
But we are not the intended audience.
No, we are not.
Okay.
So let's quickly kind of talk about like what is your Taylor Swift experience, your familiarity with this woman.
I know the hits.
Yeah.
I know 1989. My high school girlfriend, some people said looked like Taylor Swift. The I liked a few songs. Everybody, loved "You Belong with Me."
Yeah.
Uh,
Especially I Knew You Were Trouble.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Goats.
The Goats.
I like the Taylor Swift episode of The Bear. And yeah,
Why am I blanking on that?
that's when Cousin works at
Oh, when he's driving down the road. Yeah.
That's about it. She's one of those where every time I tried to get further into her, I was like, not doing it for me. And not that it was bad, I just couldn't fully get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, in high school, I loved Katy Perry.
Here's my hot take.
Yeah.
I would much rather listen to Katy Perry
Then Taylor
than
Swift.
Taylor Swift. I think Katy Perry's like bangers are better than Taylor Swift bangers.
I think the problem is at this point, Katy Perry has fewer bangers.
For sure.
Taylor Swift does.
For sure.
And I think Taylor Swift's overall discography is better.
Possibly, but I also don't. I feel like if I compare both of them, I know about as many Taylor Swift songs than I do Katy Perry songs.
You probably do.
And if I were to compare the ones that I do know, I would much rather sit through the Katy Perry bangers.
Teenage Dream, man.
Teenage Dream.
The beginning of
Hot and Cold.
The beginning of my sexual awakening. Yeah.
Last Friday Night.
Yep.
Like, these are songs that I feel like are cemented in my brain, whereas like the Taylor Swift songs, I'm like, wait, hold on, which one's this one again?
Yeah. Now they were feuding.
Apparently, I didn't know about this.
They no longer are, I think. But
so that was Bad Blood.
It was Bad Blood. Yeah, Bad Blood is the song. But the I think the feud's over. But B, I think one of them is currently winning.
I think at one point during the movie, you turn to me and you go, "Yeah, Taylor Swift won."
Yeah.
I'm not saying having a baby will do that to you, but it doesn't.
No, correct.
I that same night, I think I was sitting in the toilet and scrolling on,
sitting on the toilet,
and you sent a tweet that was like Katy Perry like having not a meltdown, but like at a Vegas residency.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I didn't even know she had a residency in Vegas.
I didn't either.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I can't tell.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Because like in the comments, people were like, oh, she's got a residency. Her career's over. But then people are like, oh, Adele's got a residency in Vegas. Fuck yeah.
That just means you do a shit ton of shows right now.
It just means you have plays that you do a show like every night or every couple of nights.
I would say that means your career is past its prime.
Possibly, but I mean, you got a steady income there.
You got it correct. Here, look, there's you can get. In theory, we're teachers, right? By
Yeah.
the time we reach to the height of the pay scale, we'll probably be past our prime. But that's the steady income right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a bit of a weird one, right? Because like we don't have a plot, we don't have characters.
No, it's a concert.
It's a concert, which is it's fine, right? So like there are concert shows that have happened before.
Mm-hmm.
I know like a big famous one is like the Talking Heads is like quoted as like one of the first ones. They just re-released it again
Oh, I
recently.
would like to see it.
I cannot remember what it's called,
Hmm.
but it just happened like this month.
Yeah.
Um, it's Stop Making Sense.
Uh,
It's still out in some theaters.
yeah.
Like if you go to Glen Ellen right now, they have a showtime at 8:15. So like it's still out right now. Um, I know Katy Perry, for example, had one.
Yeah.
What was it called? Part of Me,
Sounds about
something
right.
like that. Uh,
But that one was interesting because it inserted some of the Russell Brand drama.
yeah. So that one played more like a documentary.
Yeah, and
And
here's the take I've had that's aged the most poorly.
go for it.
I was taking Russell Brand's side.
Ooh. Yeah, dude, that opinion did not age well. Katy Perry was
Yeah,
right.
she was right.
Hashtag Katy Perry was right.
She was right.
This movie is listed as a documentary,
Okay.
and I disagree.
What genre would you feel like
I
is
feel like this is more of like a live event. I feel like that's its own thing. It's not a
yeah.
because documentary is informative.
Yes,
That's what I assume. What I interpret as documentary.
I was waiting for some more information. And granted, we did leave early. So maybe we missed
Listen,
we
man,
missed all the information.
I'm sorry if you watch
But
2 hours and 15
yeah.
minutes of a 2 hour and 45 minute movie and there is no information. It's not happening in the last 30
So
minutes.
here's the thing. This is objectively not the worst thing that you and I have seen together or reviewed.
No, and I want to be
Yeah.
clear. We did not walk out. We did
In
not
a huff.
leave.
We did not leave in a huff.
No, we did not leave because we were upset. We did
Yeah.
not leave because we didn't like what we saw. It's just a lot a lot of Taylor Swift for one night, I think.
Yes.
It was a late showing,
Yeah.
right? And then
We had
also
we had
it's a
this
45 song set list.
we had the set list popped up. It's basically the equivalent of having Wikipedia of the plot on your phone as you're watching. But then it was like the last correct me if I'm wrong, millions of fans. But the last album that she performs is Midnight's,
Yeah.
which is her newest one. I really do not care for that album. And I saw there was something like 8 fucking songs from that album, and I was like,
It's a
I was
lot.
making an executive decision.
That is a lot of
Yeah.
songs to play.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 songs in that album? No. Okay. No. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 songs. She played You're on Your Own, Kid acoustically.
Hmm.
So that means that even though there's 8 songs listed in the Midnight, she played 9 songs
9
out of
songs from that
13
album.
songs.
Wow.
That's
It's a lot.
a lot.
It's a lot.
Especially when you already have like 8 other acts
Yeah.
previously with 4 to 5 songs
8
in some
other
of them.
eras. Excuse you.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's coming from, by the way, is this thing what's making like I'm in my blank era.
I think it's definitely exacerbated it,
Okay.
but I don't know if that's. I think the I'm in my whatever era precedes the Eras tour.
Does it?
I
Okay.
think so. I think so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think the problem that I had is, and I don't know if you feel the same way because maybe you're a bit more of a fan than I am. I felt a lot of whiplash going from like some really like high intensity songs to like boom, here's like a bit of a downer song.
Mm.
And I feel like, especially if our show is going to be as long as this is, like if
Yeah.
you're having this many songs, holy crap, that feels like if you're not into it, it's going to feel like it's dragging a lot.
So I think, and here's the thing. The first band, obviously, that I ever really got into was Green Day, right?
Sure.
They have a very specific live performing style that I think has just spoiled me. And I'm not saying it's necessarily better, but like I've expected live performances to like kind of be like this,
Sure.
where the song is played and then there's a lot of like ancillary things from the performers to like get the crowd going, to like do some whoop whoops,
Like interact with the
to do some more
crowds.
interaction, right? And really, Billy Joe just steals that from Freddie Mercury, right?
Yeah.
So it's not even an original thing to them. And it wasn't until I gone to many more concerts recently, I'm like, oh no, a lot of musicians just straight up like play their music. I'm not saying Taylor Swift is a bad performer. In reality, I think she's a very good performer. But as to your point about the songs, to me, I see them less as like I see less of that whiplash. But to me, it's a lot of it is very one note and like tall words coming from a Green Day fan. Where it's like you're not really into that discography. You could also characterize that as one note. Um, I love the bops. The direction for this movie is great, but like as I was saying to you in the theater, I did not walk away from this movie hearing any songs that I was like, that one's really fucking cool. I want to listen to that one.
Yeah, like nothing
Yeah.
nothing besides what I already knew or
Yeah.
what I had heard. I felt like, oh, I could listen to this. By the way, I'm sending you a meme right now
Maybe.
about Green Day and their concert styles, and I think it's really funny because it is exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah, I saw. I don't even have to click on it. I saw this last night.
Yeah,
But
and here's the thing. So like
yeah,
we go to a lot of shows,
yeah,
right? And artists are different, right?
yep.
So when I go see like The Offspring, which we've seen many
Many
times,
times.
right?
Yeah.
They do a lot of like they play their songs and they may not interject a lot during the song, but like in between the songs, they
I'll
like
do
shoot the
some.
shit.
Yeah.
They do some crowd work.
And to be fair, it's always the same.
It is.
It's always the same.
It is.
Yeah. But you know what you're gonna get.
You know what you're getting, right?
Yeah.
I just saw Baby Metal, and
Yeah.
the way the culture is in those types of shows, there's very little interaction with the crowds. Yes, during the song they try to get people hyped up and dance and everything, but like they don't actually talk one on one almost with the crowd, right?
Yeah.
That's just idol culture. That's weird, right? Um, but like Taylor Swift, I don't remember her. I mean, she like gives these like monologues,
Very briefly.
but yeah, but like
Yeah.
they're not about like necessarily like getting the crowd hyped. It's just like her talking to the crowd, at least it felt like to me.
And so it was interesting. So first of all, right, like at the concert, that in a live concert, there could have been more that we obviously didn't
Probably
see,
because
right?
this is edited heavily.
Right. The um one of the monologues that like got me was when she was talking about like I think it was for the
Got
album
you in what sense?
or
Like got you
I
in the
was
lulls or got you in the
no
fields?
the lulls. Nothing got me in the feels. I mean, I was proud of Taylor Swift, and I think we can talk about like the cultural moment of Taylor Swift and
Sure.
the Taylor's version like
Yeah.
soon. I think the album was Evermore, and she's like, I've always pictured myself like this. There's like for this album, I wanted to fantasize I was some Victorian woman in a cabin holding some candles, and like fucking Victorians like didn't fuck around in cabins.
No.
But like beside the point, there was like nothing. I didn't like. I didn't really find any of it catchy. Like I didn't like the aesthetic. The aesthetic itself, I like didn't buy into. I can't like. Taylor does this. I'm calling her first name, but like
She's so we're friends, we hang out on
yeah,
weekends.
she does this like power Taylor stuff like throughout the performance.
It feels a little performative.
Yeah,
I will admit. I don't necessarily think I dislike that.
no,
She's using her platform, and that's fine.
yep,
And I respect that. I think she is influential enough that it's good that she's using her platform in a
yeah,
way. But I can see why, like, for us who are not the target audience, it
yeah.
does not feel. I don't want to say it doesn't even feel disingenuous. It just doesn't feel like
It
it
doesn't hit.
hits.
It
Yeah,
doesn't hit. And I will say for most concerts, even for bands that I like I will still pretty much only listen to the Killers hits. But the first time I saw the Killers, I was like, oh, that fucking song. I want to listen to
yeah,
it. Right.
yeah.
Nothing with this. Like there was zero songs that I did not know that I heard in that performance that I was like, I
I'm
got
going
them.
to add this to my
Yeah.
mix, right?
Nothing.
No, and I guess like because we only really listen to like the big hits on the radio, right?
Hey man, there's one whole album that I like.
Fair.
But
I
yeah.
can't even say that. Like
Yeah.
I just it's not my vibe. You know what I listen to. It
Right.
is not that. My music style is very weird,
Yeah.
but the Taylor Swift style of music is not in that
Yeah.
repertoire. Um, so I don't know. I feel like I am definitely not
Yeah.
like the target audience, and that's fine. But I do enjoy like the way the stage is set up. I think that was
Yeah.
very impressive. The way there's like platforms built into the stage.
Camera's got
Um,
all the good angles.
cameras are at good angles.
They got the good angles.
They got
I
I,
don't even mean that sexually.
no, for sure. Um, one of the things that I do find a little fascinating, and
Yeah.
we've said this before, like the and I don't know, to me it feels like it's came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I always feel like Taylor has been popular, especially I think her popularity like shot up after the Kanye thing.
Hmm.
I feel like that's when people were like, "Oh, we got to defend her a little bit more," and people got really on her side. But it wasn't until this year where, like, or not even this year, but like recently, they started to come up with some things about Taylor Swift, and I was like, "Oh, people really like Taylor Swift."
Yeah.
And then they started talking about her shows, and I was like, "Holy shit, people really fucking like Taylor Swift."
Yep.
Why? And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but to me, I'm just like, from what I saw and what I heard, I'm not seeing the clicking here
Eh,
for like this level of popularity. I'm not saying she shouldn't be
Yeah.
popular. I'm not saying people shouldn't love her. I just, as an outsider looking in, I don't see it. Like we talked on the way home that night.
Yeah.
When you think about Metallica, I don't love Metallica, but I
You get
watch
it.
the shows, I listen to the music, and I
Yeah.
go, I can see why.
Yeah.
Beyonce to a certain extent, Jay Z, I
Yeah.
can see that. But Taylor, I'm like, is it because I'm not a white woman in my mid to mid
Well,
30s?
I think honestly, I think a big part of it is she does a very good job of cultivating the brand,
Sure.
right? And I don't mean that in like a maniacal Machiavellian sense. Like I think like we said, like she can appeal to the safe, home of suburban teenage girls and their mothers, right? While you go to the concert and like, oh, she said fuck. Oh, she said fuck again, right?
Yeah.
The one outfit that she's got with like the snakes, right? The flexing, like she
Sure.
does. She dabbles in bad bitch, right? But then she's also Juliet, right?
Yeah.
And I think she balances those. I think she balances those very well. I think the whole Taylor's version thing really helps
Yeah.
because there was a point where like and still there's some progressive circles and give it a year. Give it a year and I do think many leftists will like turn on Taylor Swift. Come back on November 7th, 2024 to see if Thano was right.
Yeah.
Right. But there was pre Kanye going full Nazi. There there like a lot of like progressive and left leaning circles were anti Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
accusing her of like white tears with like something with Kim Kardashian, right?
Something about recording a phone call,
Yeah.
something like that.
And from what I gather, like those accusations from what I saw were right, but I think as I read it, I think just her capital with the whole like recording thing, you know, got her some love.
Mhm.
Kanye and Kim obviously did what they did, right? Or Kanye did what he did,
Mhm.
right? And that took that brand away. So I don't know. I think what works is the Taylor Swift brand more than the Taylor Swift product.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. So let's kind of pivot to like some of our end here. So like we both agree that this is too long, right?
Yep.
Um, if you look at the set list, I feel like it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
45 fucking songs.
Yeah.
And some of them are cut out, and some of them are shortened.
Yeah.
They're like abridged versions. What would a sweet spot be for something like this? Because I know people have seen this. Like in my AMC group, there's somebody who was like, I've seen this shit 5 or 6 times. And I'm like, holy shit, I couldn't make it through one
For theatrical release, you
for
mean?
this theatrical release.
So once again,
Because like I think we also like wanted to ask like what is this going to do for future events like this? Could this be a viable like thing that someone could do, like a band could put out their show? And I think some bands could absolutely do that.
yeah.
Um, while others maybe not.
So holy shit, I'm looking up apparently the runtime of the Green Day live concert DVD is 2 hours and 31 minutes. which I mean, there's like documentary parts to that, but I was like, holy shit, I did not realize it was that long. Oh, then okay, IMDb says an hour 55. All right, 2 hours for a normal group. Uh, Taylor Swift, I think gets 210 or 215. I think that's a sweet spot.
I think the fact that we were able to sit through 2 hours and like 15 minutes,
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good.
Yep.
But man, that is a little too much, I think.
I think it's definitely a little too much. I think she deserves it. Given the fact that she's queen of the world right now.
Here's the thing.
But
One thing to also consider is that this is a taped performance of a show that's a lot of people paid upwards of like $1,000
yeah,
for shitty seats.
yeah. So it's got to be a little longer than the
And
average.
if you're paying that much money and the artist only sings for an hour,
Yeah.
you're gonna feel very upset.
Yes.
So I think in that sense, like I have to give it a pass.
Yeah.
However, as somebody who did not pay $1,000 and only paid $20 to go sit in a theater,
Right.
it feels a long
Well, the
time.
theater doesn't have to be the full show, right? Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it feels. I think it feels like a long time.
Yeah.
I would say 2 hours and 15 minutes for Taylor Swift for the movie. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, the show,
Yeah.
live show, 3 hours.
Yeah, for sure.
Go
That's
crazy.
fine.
Yeah.
I mean, if I go to the show and they play for 3 hours and it's a band or a singer or whatever that I love,
You're
that'd be
happy.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Is there any group that you would like to see do something like this
Well,
in the
that's a
future?
good.
All right, so where were we? Oh, right. So what is there any band or like an artist that you think you would like to see do something like this? And you would actually happily go see it?
I am in the happy stage of my life where I have seen live all my favorite bands. Right.
Okay.
So, and my favorite band already has. This is the question, and that I would happily go see it.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No?
And yeah, let me give you. I've only watched the Green Day DVD full on once.
Oh, really?
I've tried 2 other times. I'm like,
Found was a fake fan.
I was a fake fan. You heard it here
Fake
first.
fan.
I've tried 2 other times. I'm like, I've got better things to do. So yeah,
Okay.
I really don't think. I really don't think like the concert turned into a movie is my jam.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. But I mean, for me, I think because like what I would like to see is be able to like, I think talking a friend into going to see this
Yeah.
over convincing a friend to go pay $80 to go see a band that you like,
Right.
that's a bigger stretch.
Yeah, for
You'd
sure.
be like, hey, let's pay $15 and we'll go sit in a cozy seat
Yeah.
and go watch this band, right? I feel like that's an easier get.
Yeah.
I just saw them on Friday, but I would like Ice Nine Kills to do this because I think they are primed for this.
Mm.
Their shows are very theatrical, like their
Mhm.
music is all about horror movies.
Yeah.
And in between the songs, they sometimes play videos on like in the set for this Friday, they had these two big like TV screens
Yeah.
behind the band, and they would play like clips of like a courtroom drama
Mm.
around like
Well,
the
that's fun.
band,
Yeah.
and then the songs would relate to that. So I think that would be kind of fun to have on the big screen. Like they have like performers come on stage and pretend to be like the killers from the movie that they're singing
Right.
about, right? So like that makes sense. Avenged Sevenfold's already done one, which is fine, and it's back when they were at like their peak, I think.
Yep.
So that's fine. Um, that's the only one that I can think of. I've seen Baby Metal puts out one every time they do a tour, which is fine.
Yep.
And they're always a lot of fun. I watch them usually like when I'm playing games with friends, and I just have it on my second monitor, and I'm listening to the music and I can
Yeah.
watch. But I don't just sit and watch it
watch it.
willy-nilly.
Yeah.
I think one of the things also that's very interesting about Taylor Swift thing is like the background stuff for it. That she I don't know if you're familiar with like what she did. She did not go to like distributors for this. She just went straight
She
to
went straight to
AMC.
the MC. Yeah, yeah.
She was
Good
like,
for
"Here,
her.
how would you like to do this?"
Good for her.
Dude, you cut out that middleman.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so good for her. I think that day we decided to watch this. I think it was like around 11. I was like, I was thinking about going to see this, and you were like, oh, maybe let's go.
Right.
That fucking theater at noon was like sold out in Dolby.
Yeah, this is still selling out
Fuck.
weekend shows.
It's packed. It's only playing on weekends. it was made for like 10 to 20 million and it's already at 231.
Yeah.
So Taylor does not need any more money. She's already a fucking billionaire.
Right, but
But people were not ready
for how well.
for how well this was going to be, and people were noticeably scared.
Good for theaters in general, you say?
I think it's good for theaters.
Yeah.
I think if, like I said, if this sets a trend,
Yeah.
I don't think this is like death of cinema. Like people are like, oh, this is not a film.
Well,
Like if somebody wants to go see that, like I'm again, like this might not be for me.
back in the 40s, people like fucking went to the movies to watch the war. I don't mean a war movie. They're like, here's the clips
Of
from
yeah,
the war.
yeah,
Like, so I mean,
your ads
yeah,
for sending war bonds.
exactly. So movie theaters evolved, right?
Yeah, I think good for her. It's amazing that like movies were scared to play at the same time.
Yeah.
There's 8 movies that shifted their release schedule.
Dumb Money, Exorcist, Freelance, The March King's Daughter, Ordinary Angels, The Persian Version, Priscilla, What Happens Later, all mid.
Oh, at best,
Yeah, yeah.
at best.
So they knew
They
their
knew,
place.
and it's really funny if you look at the like graph of like how movies have been performing. Taylor Swift comes along, and there's a huge uptick, and nothing else.
Yeah.
Because, dude,
Well, it's interesting. I mean, my colleagues at work don't really go to the movies unless it's to take their kids to a movie, right? They all fucking went to see
oh
this.
really?
Yep. Yep.
I only have one coworker who went to see this,
Yeah.
but she went with like 8 people,
Oh wow.
and like a lot of them kids,
Yeah.
and they were like, yeah, they sat through it. Like, I was like, dude, can you imagine being a 8-year-old kid sitting through a 3-hour concert film?
I would love to actually see. Because, like, from what I get, there was 2 people dancing in our screening.
Yeah,
I would love to be in a theater where people are going bananas.
actually, and I think I asked you that question too. I was like, do you think this would feel more fun even if we were not up there dancing,
Yeah.
just being in the atmosphere of these people just having a fucking blast?
Oh,
And I
100%.
think
I
that
mean,
would have made this so much.
I think horror movies when people don't have like proper etiquette, like, are more fun. Right? Right? Like when we saw Medea, like I didn't get the movie, but I was happy that everybody else was having a grand old time.
Yeah,
Right? So no, that I mean movies are all about seeing something with
with
other people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is always something magical about watching a spooky
Yeah.
in a crowded theater,
Yeah.
like The Blackening. It wasn't crowded, but people were interacting,
People were interacting.
and that goes a long way.
Yep.
All right, everybody. You know, I still had a good time with what I saw. I enjoyed.
I did too.
Yeah, we left bad reviewers. Oh well,
We were tired.
but
We got the gist.
we
We
got
got the
the gist.
gist.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for putting up with our ramblings here on
Yeah.
Taylor Swift. We will be back very soon with some more content.
Other projects.
Actual movies.
Actual movies.
Actual movies.
Well, one of them you might call an actual movie. One of them I might call an actual movie.
Hey, this is how we even out the pod.
This is Cine-Scoots first is coming up.
Is it?
Millions of fans. Yeah,
All right.
it is.
All
As
right.
well as our holiday special. So
As well as the holiday specials are starting.
yeah.
Well, thank you all for watching. Remember to subscribe, share with your friends.
Yes.
Spread the word. We'll be back very soon with more reviews. So until next time, he has been Thano.
He has been Javier.
And this has been the Cine-Scoots Movie Show.
Bye.